Hi, so welcome to Hip Yoga Flow number 1. The purpose of this flow is we've got two parts really. The first thing is I want to teach you how to step out of fight or flight and relax using breath. So that's the first key thing from this. And if anything, if you don't do any of this flow or don't do much of it, I would say do the breath work, because breath work is so important. The second part is about working your heart. It's about creating the resistance to create strength in your muscles, but also strengthen your bones. So we've kind of got two parts, and through the flows as well, we also cover areas that traditionally through perimenopause to postmenopause, we either get weaknesses or discomfort. So we're looking at wrists, we're looking at pelvic floor, we're going to do some core recruitment, because if your core's not firing up and your posture's wrong, then it affects your breath, it affects your pelvic floor, it affects your balance, it affects so many things. So we will be looking at areas that sometimes are a little more problematic during menopause, perimenopause, not necessarily. Some of you guys might be absolutely fine with no symptoms at all, in which case, great. Take this as you need it to be for you. So I'll do X amount of flows, but if you just sort of do one or two and take a rest, it's really important that you do so, because you know your body better than me. So be really respectful for your body. Don't feel you have to do the whole thing. You might choose to do the warm up today and then one hip flow and then stretch. And then next time you do it, do the warm up, do the second hip flow and then stretch. It doesn't have to do all of them. The whole point of HIIT is it's fast, it's quick. So, pick and mix as much as you need. If you want to do kind of all of the hip flows one by one, do, but make sure you take time to calm in between each. The reason we do that is we want to drop your cortisol levels, which get elevated during high intensity activity. So before you go on to the next flow, I want your heartbeat to be really slow and calm, your breath to be just really nice and relaxed. You will get better at this if you're not used to it. It might take longer than the time I give you to calm down, in which case you take that extra time. But make sure this suits you. So there we go. Let's get started. So let's start by warming up the body, and I'm going to focus on releasing all down the side of the neck, around the jaw and the shoulders first of all, because let's be honest, life gets busy, we end up being like this. So if we start our flow like this and we start putting pressure through the joints, we're going to hold that tension. So we want to kind of really just open up this area. So feet about hip width apart, find what feels comfortable for you, bend your knees slightly if it feels nice. Take a big breath in, roll the shoulders up, back and down, and see if you can settle them so your shoulder blades are kind of moving softly down towards your hips. Feel your toes connecting to the floor, so you might lift the toes and then press them down, spreading them slightly if you can. And then maybe close your eyes if it feels nice, and we're going to take a few breaths to ground. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling the breath move down the throat into the ribs and belly, and then back out again. Breathing in and out. And as you breathe, first of all, just notice how you breathe. Are you able to breathe into your ribs, or do you breathe through your shoulders? So if you notice that you are a bit of a shoulder breather, maybe focus on just keeping the shoulders relaxed and breathing into the side of your ribs. If you need a little help with that, rest your hands on your ribs. As you breathe in, why not start as we mean to go on? So as you breathe in, breathing calm and space and quiet. And as you breathe out, let go of busyness, let go of yesterday, this morning, let go of tomorrow. Just be here with your breath, breathing in and out. Keep doing that as I tell you a little bit about one of the relaxation techniques we're going to use throughout this class today. So as you're breathing in and out, notice how you create a sense of calm that allows you to feel like you have a little more space in your head, which then allows your nervous system to calm down, your heartbeat might slow. Then when you start to get into that feeling of space and calm, I want to visualize in your mind a little button that says rest and repair. And when you get to that calm moment, I want you to see it switch on. So you might mentally press it in your head. Depending on your age, it might be analog, it might be digital, so you might have a switch that you physically switch. It might be a light, you might see the words rest and repair on. I want you to switch it on right now and hold on to that sense of space. We're going to keep coming back to this to reinforce. Take one more breath, let your arms come down, let's start to release the neck. Crown of head is lifting right up to the sky, breathe into the top of your head. As you breathe out, gently drop your ear to your shoulder, keeping your shoulders soft and relaxed. Breathing into the center. Breathing out, take the side. Breathing into center. Going at your pace of your breath. Noticing if the shoulders lift, and if you can, see if you can just let them hang to create more space. It might also be useful to notice what your jaw is doing. So if you habitually hold tension in your jaw, try and allow your jaw to soften, and then notice how much further your ear goes down. Take a couple more, breathing in, crown of head lifts as you breathe out, side bend through the neck. Breathing in, softening the jaw. And next time we're going to change the head tilt, so you're going to turn your chin towards your armpit. As you exhale, drop your head, feel the stretch. You're going to feel it in a slightly different place now, so down the kind of back of your neck and around the back of your shoulder. And then breathe in, come back into the center. Turn, and as you breathe out, drop your chin towards your armpit. Again, notice whether you pick up the shoulder or whether you can keep the shoulder relaxed. Keep going. Inhaling back to the center. And then exhaling. Allow those breaths to be deep into your ribs. Let's do one more each side. Of course, you're more than welcome to do more if you feel you need to do that today. Next time you come back into the center, let's start to warm the shoulders a little. So breathing in, reach the arms out, and as you exhale, take a side bend. So we're long and lifted from pubic bone to belly button, and we're side bending from the rib cage, really opening up. Breathing in, shoulders soft down your spine. As you exhale, take your side bend. You can choose to look down, sideways, or up, whatever feels nice. Keep going at your own pace, breathing in. Maybe you touch your fingertips together to connect left brain to right brain. Exhale, take a side bend. Breathing in, finding your height, ribs moving away from hips, breathing out, softening your eye gaze, maybe even to stretch the muscles at the back of your eyeballs. Breathing in, and breathing out. Let's do a couple more. And the next time your fingertips touch, again connect all your fingers and then release down to the side. We're going to start to play with a little bit more forward fold work now. So I'm going to come sideways on so you can see my spine and how I roll up and down. So again, feet hip width apart, or you can have them together, up to you, breathing in to lift. And as you exhale, tuck chin into chest, bend your knees and roll yourself all the way down, drop your head. If this feels a lot for you, you can walk your elbows down to your thighs and maybe rest your elbows there. Allow the head to let go. Yes, I'm ready to let go of my stress and find a little space. Breathing in, press the toes into the floor, tuck tummy muscles in. Option, climb up your legs if you need to, or pull the belly in, tailbone tucks down towards the floor. Inhale to rise. Exhale, tuck down and roll down. Keep going at your own pace. So your in-breath is unraveling the length of your spine, feeling your core engaged. You lift and open. Then exhale and coming all the way down. See if you can let your head and shoulders relax. Let's go for 3 or 4, going at your own pace. So using the whole length of your breath. Again, you can play with touching fingertips. Left brain, right brain reconnects, so that when we move, we're a little more fluid and coordinated. It's also good for mental agility. Last time. And we're going to stay in the forward fold. Just let your head and shoulders drop, bend your knees, elbows to thighs if you wish. See if you can allow your shoulders to hang away from your hips. Take a little wiggle if you want and feel the space down the side of your legs. Let's step back into downward dog. Now, if loading your wrists is too much for you today, maybe you stay here and you play with moving backwards and forwards, so you're releasing through the calf and then change sides. If you feel comfortable, spread your fingertips, press the fingers into the floor. This fires up the muscle up the front of the arm, which then allows your shoulders to stabilise from the front as well as the back, which means when we come to the later hit stuff, your shoulders are going to be much stronger. Press the heels back into the floor, draw the chest back towards your thighs, bend your knees a little if you need to, and then see if you can draw your shoulders back towards your hips so the upper back is working and your head is nice and relaxed. Push through the heels and just gently walk your heels into the floor. You might choose to wiggle your hips a little bit, almost like you're pulling your tailbone down away from the mid-back, so you're creating a little bit more space through your spine. Use your breath, breathing in and out, using the breath to create release. Let's take one more breath and then land your knees to the floor. Let's take a little cat-cow. So breathing in, shoulders pull back towards hips, eye gaze looks softly forward. As you exhale, tuck tummy muscles in, drop the head down, round your back. Breathing in to lift and open. Remember, you can have your toes tucked if you want as well. Breathing out. As you breathe in, see if you can ripple the breath along your spine, in between your ribs, to creating space ready for movement. And as you breathe out, tuck the tummy muscles in and pull strongly upwards. Not only does this help expel any stagnant breath, but also in terms of a yoga perspective, we're shifting our energy center. We can expel negative energy, negative emotions. So if you're full up of the week's stress, this is your opportunity to really exhale and let it go. Let's take one more. And then we're going to just take one round to fire up the core. So your first option is just to keep the hands under the shoulders, breathe in, and as you breathe out, just try lifting the arm up by your ear. And then touch back down again, breathing in, and as you breathe out, focusing on keeping the shoulders, the hips, and the backs nicely in line. Those that want a little bit more, breathe in as you breathe out. See if you can extend the arm and the leg, but keep the spine nice and long, breathing in to touch down. Breathing out, hips stay square, shoulders stay quite soft, pulling back towards your hips. Let's do that a couple more times. So feel the tummy muscles fire up. Squeeze your buttocks together to stabilize the hips if you're lifting your back leg. Keep connecting with your breath, breathing in, breathing out. Let's just do that a couple more times at your own pace. hands, cut back down, sit your butt back to your heels, take yourself into child's pose for a moment, and just breathe your shoulders down your spine. You should be nice and warm. It's now time to move into our sun cell. Gently coming up onto all fours, tuck your toes under, shift the weight back into your downward dog if that feels comfortable, and then walk your way forward into forward fold. Tuck your belly in, roll yourself all the way up to mountain pose. And let's get ready to do our sun cell. Remember, if you feel like the crocodile move we're going to do feels too much, you can do the cat-cow that we just did. You also go at your pace with your breath rather than my pace. But I'm going to start you off. Inhaling, reaching up to extended mountain pose. And then as you exhale, take a dive to forward fold. Drop your head, chest to thighs. Breathing in, stepping your feet back to plank. Knees on the floor if you need to. Now, right now, you can cat-cow if you want. Those that want to, knees on the floor, lowering to crocodile, or you can do it on your toes. But make sure you do what feels right for you. Elbows stay tucked in. Breathing in, rolling your chest forward, pulling the shoulder blades back, squeezing the butt. And then as you breathe out, push back into your downward dog, pulling the shoulders back away from the ears. Walking, stepping, or jumping your feet between your hands. And then as you breathe out, come to forward fold. Inhale, rolling up, and we're going to keep going with this to generate some heat. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhaling, stepping, jumping back to plank if you want. Exhaling, lowering, pulling the shoulders back, elbows tucking in. Inhaling, pushing chest forward, baby cobra or up dog. Squeeze your butt, press through your fingers, roll the shoulders back. Breathing out, pushing back into downward dog. Breathing in, walking, stepping or jumping, feet between hands. Breathing out to fold, drop your head. Let's keep going. I'm going to start to take it up a level for those that want to come with me. Stay with the level that you've got if you're at enough right now. Exhaling to forward fold. Breathing in, stepping back. Then as you breathe out, lowering to crocodile. Breathing in, lifting and opening. As you breathe out, rolling back into your heels, pulling the shoulders back. Breathing in, stepping, walking or jumping, but feet land softly. Breathing out to forward fold. Inhale to lift, extended mountain pose. 3 more rounds of this at your own pace. You might even choose to start jumping it back. This is HIIT after all, but if you find that you drop your back, I'd rather you stepped back and got used to doing your planks with strong core before you go further into jumping. Keep breathing. Full in breaths, full out breaths. Let's go one more round, if you feel you want to, or not. Come to mountain pose. I'm going to turn and face you. I just want you to bring your breath, maybe have your hand on your heart so you can feel it beating. Breathe in through your nose. And out through your nose. So allow your breath to be natural. But allow it to be deep and slow. In your head, visualize your rest and repair button. And switch it on. heart's flow. Just keep breathing like this, focusing on the feeling of rest and repair. Remember when we started and we focused on breathing in calm and space. You might also focus on feeling the heat moving around your body. And if, like me, you're going through hot flushes at the moment, and it might trigger a hot flush too, then your option, if you want to, is to do a cooling breath. I'm going to show you that now, so you can use it the whole way through if you need. So if you just stick your tongue out, and you can try and curl it in a U shape. Now, genetically, not all of us can do this, and that's fine. So if you just have a flat tongue, that's fine too. And then all you're going to do is breathe in through your mouth, so the air hits the cool moisture on your tongue and cools you. And then as you breathe out, the heat breathes out through your nose. Breathing in, out. Keep going with that. Now, when I say breathing out the heat as well, I don't just mean the physical heat that we've created right now, but also if you're having kind of anxiety or kind of menopausal irritability, where you kind of think, oh, you know, just you're annoyed or frustrated about stuff, then you can breathe that heat out as well. So as you breathe in, not only are you breathing just fresh air to cool, but we can breathe in calming, cooling, emotionally breath. And as you breathe out your heat and your frustrations. Take a couple of breaths, need the cooling breath, and then just notice whether your heartbeat has slowed down. It probably has by now. If it hasn't quite calmed down, stay a little bit longer before you do your next flow. But really focus on that rest and repair button being switched on. Focus on the sensation of calm and quiet. And then when you're ready, we're going to move on to our first flow. So, hip flow number 1, we are going to do some single leg work. So we're going to strengthen the muscles on one leg, because let's be honest, sometimes one leg tends to do more work than the other. So we're going to do some single leg work in the forms of warrior 3s. These are also really great for using glutes to stabilize and switching on your core. We will also be doing quite a bit of getting up and down, which in itself creates heat. It pumps blood around your body, and you've got blood pumping oxygen around your body, your brain is going to fire up and feel more effective. So if you feel a little bit low energy and brain foggy, this is a really nice one for kind of waking you up. Go at the pace that feels right for you. If you are wobbly in your warrior 3, you can just have the toe on the floor, but I want you to keep the hips square and the supporting knee bent. So wherever you go, we're looking after the spine, you're feeling the tummy muscles engage, and this leg is getting loaded, so we're strengthening the bones. So let's have a little play. Feet come to the front, and we're going to circle the arms again as we did before. So you're going to breathe it in all the way up, and as you breathe out, circle all the way down. And then breathing in, sit into intense pose. So you're squeezing your thighs together, tucking your tummy muscles and drawing the shoulder blades back and down. If this feels a lot on your shoulders today, maybe you stay here, but you want to feel the heat in your thighs, you want to feel the glute engage, and if your tailbone tucks up, pull your belly button in so you've got a nice long spine all the way down. Perfect. From there, shift the weight into one leg, doesn't matter which, and switch the other leg back into warrior 3. So option, toes to the floor, you can hover a little bit, or you can think of your hips as the center of a seesaw, and as the leg comes up, the crown of head goes down. If you want another balance challenge, try reaching the arms forward. So you're holding onto the leg and then bring back, and touch back down into a lunge. From there, you're going to step your feet back into a plank, Lower down to crocodile. Draw through to baby cobra or up dog. Breathe out to push back to downward dog. You can walk, step or jump your feet between your hands, up to you. Breathe out to forward fold. Circle the arms up and back. And then breathe out, come forward. Breathe in to sit. And then breathe out to warrior three, other leg. Breathe in to circle arms forward, holding the strength. Breathing out, coming back and down into your lunge. Breathing in, step your feet back. Breathe out, lower to crocodile, cat-cow if you want to, guys. Breathing in to lift and open, baby cobra or up dog. Breathing out to push back to downward dog. Breathing in, walking, stepping, jumping, feet between hands. Breathing out to fold. Inhale, circle up and back. Exhale, cycle down and forward. Inhale to sit, tucking tummy muscles in. And then as you exhale, sweep back to warrior three. Perfect. Inhale, try circling your arms forward, opening up the shoulders. Exhale, touch down into low lunge. Now, if you don't want to keep stepping back into plank and crocodile, and you just want a little bit less today, how about you bring your feet together back to forward fold. Then inhale, circle up and back. And exhale, circle back and down. If you want to do a full flow, you have the option to do that too. Inhale, sit into your intense pose. And then as you exhale, dive back to warrior three. Inhale, circle forward. Keep squaring your hips. Exhale, touch down. Again, step to forward fold if you want, or come with a full flow into plank or crocodile with me. Keep using the breath. Keep pulling the shoulders back away from the ears. You choose whether you walk, step or jump, but keep pulling in your belly. Circle back. Circle forward. Sit. Extend. Hold. Step back. Back to forward fold if you wish, or continue your flow. Remember, if you need to rest at any point, you rest. I'm going to say let's do two more if you feel comfortable doing that. If you had enough already, how about you bring yourself into child's pose and take a rest, or come to mountain pose and do your breathing to breathe yourself back to calm. Notice if you get a little bit deeper. Really think about filling your body with breath, sending breath to the edge of the poses. Last time, everyone, if you want, or take a rest already. Keep squaring your hips. Keep breathing. Circle your arms and bring them down to the side. Beautiful. Come back to hands on heart. And allow your breath to slow. So this time we're going to try a different breath. And if it feels comfortable, we're going to try some nostril breathing. If you need to stay like this, please do. Thumb and fourth finger to the cartilage bit of your nostrils. We're going to do calm breath. So we're going to be breathing in through the left and out through the right. Now, as you release the nostril, so we're going to squeeze, cut the air off, as we release and come up, you only open the nostril halfway. So it's like you're turning a tap, half on and then closing it. Half on and then closing it. So we're slowing the passage of breath, which takes us out of fight or flight. That's what we want to do. So we're tapping into that button again in our head, rest and repair. If you want to just, you can use the other hand to balance, or you might just rest it on your heart so you can feel the heartbeat slowing. So breathe again through the left. Pitch it out through the right. Pitch through the left. Pitch it out through the right. Pitch through the left. Pitch it out through the right. Pitch through the left. Pitch it out through the right. Keep going. We're going to do this about another minute or 2 minutes. Through left. Pitch it out through the right. Keep doing that while I tell you a little bit more about this. So nostril breathing takes us out of fight or flight naturally. So it's a very quick way of taking yourself out of a panic situation. So if you can learn to do this and connect it to the feeling with switching on rest and repair, then in theory you could be somewhere where you feel like you've got anxiety rising, and you could literally connect into that feeling, switch your rest and repair on without even having to take your fingers out and nostril breathe. You are connecting into a feeling and an association with just breathing. So keep going with that. Now the importance of nostril breathing as well, it's been widely tested through many universities. There are numerous papers that talk about the importance and the effectiveness of nostril breathing. And certain studies have shown that if you nostril breathe for 2 to 3 minutes every day, potentially before you go to bed at night, especially with calming breath, it reduced rates of hot flushes, and it also improved sleep quality. So think about that, just 2 to 3 minutes of breathing could change your night's sleep. That's pretty cool, hey? And then there's also been research done into the effect of breath on mental health as well, and cognitive skills. And if you breathe for 20 to 30 minutes nostril breath, which I know seems like a lot, but actually if you build up, it gets easier and you get used to it. It's been shown to improve cognitive function. So imagine that. You could improve your brain function just by breathing. Bring your hands to your heart. Hopefully your heart is slowed by now. And then you're going to bring your arms down to the side, and that's the end of flow 1. If you want to move into flow 2, you can. If you've had enough for today, you're short of time, move into the stretch. Flow 1 and 2, we're still working on legs to create resistance, but we're going to spend a little longer staying in a pose. So if you hold a yoga pose longer than 16 counts, and I mean 1, 2 rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, then you're going to create bone density and encourage your bones to build and strengthen. So that's what we're going to do. Also got some balancing, and we've put lots of warrior poses because warrior is very opening. It's a really great feeling. It allows you to feel empowered and confident as well. You're really opening up the front of the body, because in life sometimes you're a little bit here and hunched and it's very protective, but opening up, expanding also means you're going to breathe better into your diaphragm as well. You're going to stand better because you're going to be lifted. So let's have a little play. We're starting from downward dog. Don't forget, guys, if you want to as well, if it feels too much being in downward dog, you could literally just come onto the knees for a moment, press the heels back, and then just come up very quickly to move into your next pose. Or, if in doubt, leave one of the moves out and just move into the next one in a way that feels good for you. This is your flow. Okay, so pressing the heels back into the floor. You're going to step one leg forward and lift the arms up to high lunge. So it's quite dynamic. From there, you're going to turn the back heel and come into warrior 2. So pressing the toes into the floor, squeezing the butt, chest, hips in line, shoulder blades rolled back and down. Perfect. Take a big breath in, reach up to sun warrior and open up side body. See if you can stay deep in the legs. As you exhale, hand to thigh, extended warrior 2. You might be here, or you might be here, but make sure you feel comfortable. Hand wraps behind your lower back, draw the shoulder blade back, keep pushing through your feet. You're going to feel that strength through your legs. From there, breathe in, hand to thigh if you need. You might even come up a little bit into floating half moon. So first option is to be here. You might use the hand on the thigh to support. You might play with lifting the leg a little bit, or you might play with lifting it quite a lot. With your next breath, you're going to bend your knee and turn your hips till you come to aeroplane. So if you're doing it from here, you might just pivot through here. Perfect. So we're working into one leg again. And then you're going to step back into a deep lunge and move back to downward dog. Pushing back, let's try the other side. Stepping the other foot forward and springing straight up. So it's quite dynamic. As you breathe out, press the heel into the floor, into your warrior two. Now keep the legs where they are and just move your upper body. Breathing in to lift. Sun warrior. Breathing out, reach across the thigh, touch down, thigh or to the floor. Extended warrior two. Breathing in, lift up, floating half moon. And then as you breathe out, remember touch down if you need, add a wobble. Square your hips into your warrior three, touch back down again. So balancing creates quite a lot of heat. We're going to keep playing with that at your own pace. So breathing in, and then breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. So if you've got that, I encourage you to go at your own pace. Creating space between the ribs and hips. Keep pushing through your legs. Remember, you can have a wrap if you want, or not. Shift. And then tuck your tummy muscles in, squeeze the buttocks together as you revolve to find your strength. Pull the shoulders back away from your ears. Touch down. I'm going to say let's do that 2 more times each side at your own pace. Opening up that shoulder girdle again if you want. And remember, if this feels awkward on your back, come up a little bit first of all. Use that thigh muscle to lift. And then you choose where you want to be. And you know, you might adjust the foot slightly. One more time each side if you want to, or if you want to rest, rest. Remember, if you're getting a little tired, you want to touch down here and make it smaller, please do. And the next time you're going to bring yourself down to sitting. Easy sit, cross-legged, Half lotus, feet out in front, sit on a block or a cushion if you need to. Hand to heart, feel your breath. Now your heart is going to be beating a little faster. Not necessarily as fast as the previous flow, that was a little more dynamic. But I want you to use your breath to bring your heart down. So switching on rest and repair. And you can choose whether you stay in hands and heart or nostril breathing, in through left, out through right. But we're going to keep breathing for about 2 to 3 minutes. Keep going in through left, out through right. Again, focus on your rest and repair button. Maybe visualize your body doing its maintenance work. Repairing your joints, your muscles, your bones. Feel that sense of calm and quiet in your head. Feel the slowing of your heartbeat. Being completely present with your breath. The feeling of the heat radiating out from the surface of your skin. The coolness of your breath as you breathe in the cool air around you. If you have your hand on your heart, you'll feel that hopefully it's slowed down a little more. Keep going until your heart is completely calm and quiet. And then when you have that calm, you're ready for flow number 3, if you'd like to take it. Or you're ready to move on to the stretch, if you feel like doing less today. So let's move into flow number 3. Flow number 3. This is very much about wrist strength, core recruitment, pelvic floor recruitment and release. And it's also a lot of getting up and down again if you choose to take that option. So it's shifting the energy up and down, and the more we get up and down, the more calories we're going to burn. So if we're looking to spike our metabolic rate and maintain healthy body fat levels, we kind of need to get things burning a little bit and get things moving, and that's what we're going to do. So we're coming into horse stance first of all. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Now if you have had issues with carpal tunnel, you can either have a little rolled up towel or you can roll your mat underneath here if you want. There's the option just to keep your fingers spread, press through the fingers so this fires up, but not to lift your knees off the floor. Yep, so stay with your knees on the floor if you need to with this. Those that feel comfortable can take the knees off. So pressing your fingertips into the floor, tucking your tummy muscles in. Your option is just to stay here and draw the tummy muscles in, or tuck your toes under and lift your knees 1 centimetre off the floor. You'll note my head is in line with my tailbone. Often we're dropping down here, but keep that really nice long. You'll feel the tummy engage. Come back down. So that's the base move. We're going to add a leg kick back. So if that's going to feel a lot for you, you might come up, down, and then extend the leg. You might just keep the knees on the floor, contract the belly, feel the belly pull in, extend the leg, keeping hips nice and controlled. Those that want to, you're going to lift up into hover, pull the tummy muscles in, extend the leg. You're going to feel the core work up a lot there. Good. And then try the other leg. Come back, turn your toes out, turn your heels in, walk yourself back to a wide stance. So for me, my hips are quite bendy, so I feel quite comfortable coming back here. But if you feel that's a little bit too much, maybe you draw your heels to the floor and come here, resting elbows and thighs. Now you have the option to just stay here, or to come all the way up, Come back down into your deep squat. Come back to your hold stance and reset your feet. So let's do that again. So breathing in, contract your belly, option to lift the knees or not as you breathe out. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, breathe in, and as you breathe out, breathe in as you breathe out, breathe in as you breathe out, breathe in, and as you breathe out, touch down. So if you feel you've got that, go with it. Let's go for 6 times if you can, less if you want to. Those that want to stay with me, stay with me. Remember, knees stay on the floor if you need to. Breathing in, contracting belly, breathing out. Breathing in, contracting belly, breathing out. Breathing in, touching the toes. As you push back to your wide squat or your garland, you're stretching the pelvic floor. And then as you breathe out and drive up, contract your pelvic floor. Breathe in as you breathe out, stretching the pelvic floor. Breathe in as you breathe out. Just relax the pelvic floor. Let's keep going. Remember, here is an option. Three to go. Keep pressing through your fingertips to fire up the front of the arms. Drive through your toes, squeeze your buttocks as you come up. Make sure your knees feel comfortable with this. If they don't, adjust until they do. It might mean that you just go halfway. Last time, or rest if you need to. I'm definitely pretty hot. Take a little sit back into child's pose. Drop your head down. And just know, by resting this point on your forehead on the ground, you're stimulating the release of melatonin, which is calming. Take your knees a little wider if you need. Feel your sit bones move back to your heels. Relax your fingertips. Take a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back to sitting and nostril breathe. You can hands on heart again, you can left nostril, right nostril, or you can do cooling breath. Choose what you want for the next 2 or 3 minutes and allow your heart rate to slow. Switch on your rest and repair. Connect into those feelings. The space, the quiet, and just allow your heart to slow ever so gently with your breath. Great, so your heart should be nice and slow again, regardless of which flow you've just come from. Let's move into some stretch. So we've been stretching as we've been moving, but it's nice to just take it really slow for a little bit. So bring yourself into child's pose one more time. Take your knees wider so you get the inside of your hip stretched. And if it feels nice, just take a stretch to one side. So you're stretching the side of the body. As you breathe in and out, find space from hip bones to ribs. Keep focusing on rest and repair. Then when you feel ready, try the other side. No, if this feels really uncomfortable on your knees, sometimes kind of coming too far back on your knees hurts the kneecap. You can pop a cushion between your calf and your thigh so that you're a little bit higher if you need. You can also adjust the position of your legs. Don't feel just because I'm there that it's right for you. Let's take one more breath. Coming back into the center, shift your weight on all fours. Push back into downward dog or kneeling if you want to. And then we're going to come into pigeon pose. So you're going to draw the leg forward. Now your first option, two legs 90 degrees, yeah? So if you feel this is a lot on the hip, stay here. You can take the leg back and extend too. Now, if this feels a lot on the hip here as well, you have an option to put a cushion or a block under your bum so that you're a little bit more lifted, so this hip doesn't have to open quite so much and it feels supported. You can also move your foot forwards, backwards, and the knee inwards and outwards. So choose a position where you feel comfortable, and we're focusing on releasing around the side of the buttocks and the hips. Just take some nice breaths, breathe in, breathe out. Feel the space around your hip bones open. You might be up here, you might be resting on cushions. Choose what feels nice for you. As you breathe in and out, try relaxing your jaw. Jaw is connected to the hips, so we can relax both even better. Just allow gravity and breath to open up that hip a little bit more. Sometimes we don't realise how much tension we're holding until we actually just breathe and use gravity. You relax your shoulders more in that position. And then climb your hands up, but because we've done quite a lot of work working the quads, front of your thighs, let's take it into a quad stretch. So you might just press the hips forward if you can't reach your foot. You might be able to pick the foot up and draw the heel towards the center of your bottom. Or if you feel comfortable from this position, you might be able to draw the heel up, reach round, and draw the heel into the center of the butt. You might be up here, you might be down here. But the important thing is wherever you are, you're comfortable. You're comfortable enough to let go and to breathe. So if you can hold your foot, but you're fighting it, how about you take it down a level and just find some harmony with your body. And then just breathing in and out, wherever you feels nice. And if this feels quite intense, you can always play with rolling in and out of it a little bit, very gently. So it's not too much pressure, you can deepen the stretch. Notice how the front of the hip opens. If we're opening up this front of hip, it means we stand up taller. Sometimes we get back issues because this is so tight, it pulls us forward and rounds the back. So opening up the front of the hips, really great for posture. Beautiful. Let's release out. We're going to change to the other leg. So you can either step back into downward dog, or you can sweep the other leg around and bring yourself to 90 degrees on the other side. But whatever feels comfortable for you. So choose where you're going to go. This side might feel different, and that's fine. So whether you come down here with the knees bent, or whether you extend the leg, or whether you put a block under your bottom so that you feel supported, or a cushion. And then again, connect into your breath. Maybe connect into your rest and repair button. Think about softening your jaw. Give your hips permission to let go. Notice if you feel a release in your back as you release your glutes. Glutes can pull into a back. Again, you can roll backwards and forwards through it if it feels nice, just feeling the corners of tightness, gently easing them out. And when you feel ready, if you would like to, don't feel you have to, pick up your leg and catch it. So again, you might roll onto the bottom, catch the foot from there. You might just press the hips forward to feel the opening. Lots of different options. As you breathe in and out, just keep letting the hip drop down. Notice if you're pulling with the shoulder a lot. See if you can find a position where the foot stays fairly close to the butt comfortably without you having to really yank through the shoulder. Let's take one more breath and release. And then bring your feet round and let's roll onto the back. So the first thing we want to do is do a little hamstring stretch, because again, hamstrings can pull on the lower back. And one of the things I've definitely experienced is kind of lower back and hip discomfort during my menopause. So holding thigh, calf or ankle. If you can't, you can use a yoga strap. The knee can be bent. We're stretching the muscle here. So if you find that having the leg right out here feels really uncomfortable and you can't get anywhere, it's better to have the knee slightly bent and draw back so you can still feel that stretch. This knee can stay bent, or if you want to, you can press the heel away. And then just notice if your shoulders are lifting off the floor, like mine have just done, bring them down and hold a little bit lower. And then inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can let the shoulders soften. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep softening your shoulders. Keep allowing breath and gravity to open the back of the leg. You'll notice this is also stretching diagonally across the pelvic floor if you've got the leg extended as well. And you're just going to draw the knee in, take a little roll around your hip. Just notice the space around your hip, your lower back, how the back feels as you move the hip in and out. And then we're going to try the other side. So again, choosing where you feel comfortable. And if it means you're like this to hold your leg, how about you use a band or hold lower? And then just keep breathing the shoulders into the floor. Bottom leg extends away if you wish. Try pushing the heel away. And if you find the head's quite lifted as well, just try tucking the chin in towards the chest. So you're lengthening the back of the neck. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Just let gravity and breath do its job. This leg might be tighter, it might be looser, it really doesn't matter. You just need to breathe and give it the attention it deserves right now. And remember, you don't have to finish when I finish with this. You can always come back and spend longer on these stretches if you need to. And we do have the calming yoga flows as well, which are much slower paced and much more time to really get into the pose. So if you feel like you need more, maybe you tap into one of those. Let's take a roll through. You can have the knee bent again if you want or not. Notice how your back feels. Notice how the hip feels. Let's take a twist. So drawing the knees in now, you have an option to have your feet on the floor, or you can start with your knees up. Arms come in a long T shape. And if you know that your back is quite tight, maybe you have a stack of cushions or pillows or a yoga block to the side. Breathe in. As you breathe out, gently drop your knees to the side. See if you can maintain your shoulders resting on the floor. And as you breathe in and out, try and find length between the top of your rib cage, the bottom of your rib cage, and the top of your hips. Sometimes we're quite crunched up here. So see if you can move the knees a little way. And then just breathe in. If you want to stretch your neck, you can lift the head up, turn it round to face away from your knees. Place it back down on the floor. Relax your jaw and shoulders once more. Breathing expansively into the front, the back, the sides of your ribs. Bring yourself back into rest and repair. Can you see that light switched on right now? As you allow that sense of calm and quiet to flow through your body, how do your muscles respond? Can you let them soften even further? Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Gentle flow of breath, just massaging along your spine, gently unraveling. Stay there. If you want to stay longer, when you're ready, breathe into the center, reset your back into the floor, and as you breathe out, come the other side. Again, this might be different to the other side, so you might need cushions this side. You might need to bring the arms down slightly. You might need to adjust the neck. As you breathe in and out, just allow gravity, breath, that sensation of rest and repair to flow into every single cell of your being. Just surrender. Also notice you're doing this, how few hot flushes you get when you're doing this chilled out stuff. Because the hot flushes are triggered by anxiety, they're triggered by low sugar levels. So if you find that you're anxious all the time, you are more likely to have hot flushes. If you can use the calming breath, if you can maintain calm at regular periods during the day, you're less likely to be sweating. Stay there as long as you wish, and when you're ready, you're going to come back into center, reset your back again, feet to the floor. Let's take a little counter pose. So pressing the feet into the floor, tuck the pelvis under. You might just roll a little way up if you want. Some of you might be able to press the feet into the floor and come higher. Chin tucks into chest so the back of the neck is long. And we just want to really breathe into the front of the body, opening up the creases in the armpits and the hips. You might even spread your shoulders across the floor as well. Take a few breaths, but this is meant to be relaxing. So if you feel that you're holding yourself up and think, oh God, this is tiring, take an exhale and gently roll down through your spine. Mid-back touches down before your tailbone, and if you find this tricky to do, pull your belly button in. Let's take another one. Press through the toes, roll up through your spine, feel the front of the body open. Breathe fully into it, feel the space for your breath. Then as you breathe out, use your exhale to draw the tummy muscles in, to gently ripple down through every segment of your spine. Let's come to happy baby. It's a very nice way to release pelvic floor. So draw your knees out to the side. You can hold under on the shins or your feet, but if you're having to curl up to reach, see if you can hold a little bit lower so you can actually relax the whole of your back on the floor. And then if it feels nice, you might take a little roll from side to side. But the thing I want you to do here is really think about relaxing the pelvic floor as well. Every time we've squatted today in tense pose, we've contracted the pelvic floor. Every time we've done a warrior, we've been contracting the pelvic floor. It's just as important to allow the pelvic floor to relax and stretch, just like any other muscle in your body. You breathe in and out. Keep letting the knees drop out. Take a little swing from side to side if you want. You might even play with just extending your legs out. Feel the inside of your thighs stretch. And then with your next breath, you're going to bring your feet together, bring your knees together, land your toes to the floor. Let your arms rest down for a moment. And just breathe. So, final part of my HIIT yoga, and I do encourage you to do this, even if you don't have much time. It's 2 to 3 minutes, and it's really important to keep ourselves really nice and calm. So we're going to do Nadi Shona nostril breathing, which we're going to breathe in through alternate nostrils. So it's really bringing the mind into focusing on breathing. If it feels uncomfortable for you, then you can just focus on slow breath. If you feel like you just want to do calm today, you might breathe in through the left and out through the right. So it's up to you, but I'm going to say try this. It's a cleansing breath. So it's a really nice thing to do at the end of the day before you go to bed. It also focuses your attention into the breath, so you're less likely to be thinking about other things. It's very hard to breathe alternate nostrils and think of something else at the same time. So thumb, fourth finger to the nostril onto the cartilage bit here. Same principle as we're doing with the left nostril breathing. As you release halfway. And we're going to just do 2 minutes today. But if you can do more, I encourage you to do more. You'll get to a point when 2 minutes feels really short. So just go with what feels right for you. Thumb, fourth finger of the nostrils. And you're going to breathe in through the left. Pinch it out through the right. In through the right. Pinch it out through the left. Keep going. In through the left. Pinch and out through the right. In through the right. Pinch and out through the left. In through the left. Pinch and out through the right. In through the right. Pinch and out through the left. Keep going. So as you continue to breathe, notice where the breath flows into your ribs. Can you breathe into the front, the back and the sides? Can you keep your head calm and quiet? And as you breathe in, bear in mind every in-breath is an opportunity to breathe in calm and space and energy, whatever you need for you today. And every out-breath is an opportunity to let go of tension, worry, anxiety, all that stuff that holds us back and limits us. Stops us from being healthy and calm, from thinking clearly. So as you breathe in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. Don't just think of it as it's just breathing. Think of this as a way of finding mental clarity, a way of energizing your brain so it thinks better. More breath, more oxygen to the brain. It's going to make your brain function better. Our muscles, our limbs, our energy systems need oxygen. The better we breathe, the more energy we should have. Think of this as breath that brings us into rest and repair. So our body can use the nutrients that's digested calmly to rebuild, to heal, to strengthen. With our stress levels coming down, our cortisol levels come down. And if our cortisol levels are down, our body isn't having to divert everything to the emergency services. Your hormones can balance better. Your thyroid function is happier. So as you breathe, it isn't just a breath. This is your pathway to calm, to health. And all those things bring happiness, hey? Let's take a couple more breaths in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. And when you've finished your last one, maybe just bring your hand back to your heart. Feel the slowness of your heartbeat. Feel the softness of your shoulders. Acknowledge the quietness of your mind. And then gently just release your hands, open your eyes. And that's the final part done. So if you don't have time to do the whole hip flow, maybe just do the warm-up, sun salutation and this. And that's still probably about 15 minutes. It's going to get you moving. It's going to help you feel good. Why not give it a try? Thanks for joining me today, guys.